Fourth hour, Landrum, Pat, Conrad, and Molly. We appreciate all of your interaction. Some folks still patiently waiting on hold. All the texts that we have, we still got to get to the text line, 205-834-9450. Big reaction to the weekend that was Alabama with their road win, impressive over Missouri. Auburn, another hard-fought, well-attended game by the Jordan-Hare faithful. They fall. Officiating, Hugh Freeze, his future, all of that content for today and beyond. A guy who knows a lot about football, knows a lot about being a head coach, running a program. It's Coach Bill Clark, presented by our friends at Donahue Chevrolet.
Coach Bill Clark on Three Man Front is brought to you by Donahue Chevrolet. Learn more at DonahueChevrolet.com. And now, Coach Bill Clark.
Coach Bill Clark joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Coach, have you always dreamed of being the head coach at Penn State?
Yeah, that's right up.
Seems like a place that just fits you, your personality.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good. Got a beautiful day today. Great day.
All right, let's start. There's all sorts of
the fish biting there on the lake.
Yeah, fishing's good.
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's start with the Auburn-Georgia game. The play that was not called or was ultimately called by Birmingham. Just your feelings on the tush push, the dive over the goal line. What was your thoughts on the play itself? The result in regards to how the officials in Birmingham handled that against the Auburn Tigers, it being not a touchdown.
Yeah, so first, me and you were texting each other during the game, and I was saying that's the first half offense that I was talking about.
Yep.
I know we'll get to that in a minute. But, I think this is – and I lived through this when we played Louisiana Tech where Spencer Brown was going in the end zone. His knee hit, and y'all probably remember the play. Knee hits probably about the one as he takes the ball across the line and hits the ground. So it's either he's down on the, half-yard line or it's a touchdown. The guy lets it play out. The ball bounces out, and they pick it up. And I said, well, it's one of the two. He said, well, I was letting it play out because I was going to go to the replay. And so, I think that's what's happened to this world where the officials are trying to let things play out. The problem is by letting something play out, you have immediately said there's a weight to that call made on the field, as we know, because you now have to overturn it. So the question I got, the guy that had the best look at it, why he didn't signal touchdown, because if he didn't, then it goes back to the frame-by-frame, bang-bang play. And I think it was very close, but I do think the fact that they're now having to overturn the decision on the field, which is now being weighted by the fact they want to let it play out. That's my question for the side judge. Why didn't you just signal touchdown? Because it's what it looked like to me, right? Now when we go back to replay, it's weighted. That was going to be hard to overturn. Maybe that's what he saw. And if he did, I would feel better about it.
Well, a touchdown there, you're up 17-0, but it doesn't take away, and you mentioned when you came on, the offense, what that looked like, what you've been talking about. What did you see from Hugh Freeze, that Auburn offense in the first half that made it work?
Yeah, that's exactly what I've been saying. Power read, quarterback read, get the ball on the perimeter, throw quick game, throw play action, run your quarterback draw, all the things that they did in the first half. Now, I said this on the show, Kirby Smart, and this is what you do as a guy that's been doing it a long time, as a guy that, and this was the world I come from. You're going to adjust. His guys are not going to quit. They're a great second half team. And that probably could have happened whatever they were doing. I think the momentum swung, as we all know, and it was just hard. They couldn't recover it. And so give Kirby and, Georgia a lot of credit. But 17-0, I'm not saying they would have quit, and they've come back before, but it would, you could tell it messed with the psyche of Auburn for sure.
Well, Coach, and you mentioned it, you were texting me during that first half because the type of offense and what they were running was extremely impressive. And we all know, as you just mentioned, they're going to make adjustments. Kirby is one of the best in the business at halftime. But, man, just 40 yards of offense in the second half. What were you seeing, or what did Kirby do to make the adjustment to make it so difficult for Hugh Freeze and the Auburn offense to accumulate anything more than 40 yards?
Yeah, I think this is the question I always have for somebody. What do you do when they adjust? Because they're going to adjust. And I always planned on an adjustment. So all right, so now we go conversely, right? The box now starts getting packed, and now we immediately have got to be ready to take our shots. That don't mean we don't run the ball, but the shots now are going to be set up with this receiver you got who is, that good, because you're going to start seeing more emphasis placed on stopping the run game. So, I think that's what you got to do. What are you going to do when they make the change? You got to be ready for it. Give them credit. They adjusted. I thought Auburn did exactly what I would have done. They started running their quarterback more. And of course, you got the post pattern, or, that might have been a touchdown. He gets hit as he's throwing it. So there's those what ifs, but 40 yards, that's a big adjustment right there.
Coach, I'm not trying to put you in an uncomfortable spot, but you would know better than anyone. So I want to just lean on your expertise. You see how it's going, and it's not just specific to Auburn, but Hugh Freeze, the expectations, the talent. The schedule's not going to get any easier. By the way, the schedule's not going to get any easier next season. At what point, if your administration, you're an influential booster, do you say, I think I've seen enough to know that maybe this just isn't a good fit?
I hate to say it. I don't know that I'm the guy for that, because I always come from the world of the coach.
I know you do.
I don't know. My question will be is when you don't see effort, or you start, if you start losing that. Now, somewhere in there, we get paid to win games. I mean, that's just, and you get paid a good. The people that talk about salaries and why guys get long-term contracts, because you're paying for the best. You're paying for somebody that's on 12 months out of the year. He works almost 365 days. That means people don't know what that pressure looks like now, but you are paying to win. So that's going to be the question. And Coach Freeze understands that. Every coach in the business knows there comes a time when it doesn't really matter. You just haven't won enough, and that'll be the question. But the first thing I would look for is, do they start losing games based on attitude or lack of effort? But eventually it's going to come down to win or loss total.
Bill Clark joins us each and every Monday here on Three Man Front. You can hear his show Thursday nights at 6 o'clock right here on Jocks. Okay, Bill, let's talk about the Alabama Crimson Tide. Another impressive win. 2 out of the last 3 weeks, they have gone on the road in the toughest conference in America, and they have beat a ranked opponent. They had to hold on for dear life, but man, Ty Simpson, if he is not on top of anybody's Heisman Trophy list, he should be. Some of those throws he had against Mizzou was very impressive. Your take on the Tide now as they head into the third Saturday in October?
I think what they're doing is they're finding a way to win the tough games. If you want to say trap game, whatever you want to say, early kickoff, a team that's a lot better than people know, kind of like Vanderbilt, but going on the road, you just had another big win against a team that beaten you the year before. I thought you find a way to win this game. Obviously your running back going out, you could see the difference in production with him and without him, with Miller. So that did hurt them at the end. They found a way to make the play at the end of the game. And that's what you got to do. You got to find a way to win those games. I think Simpson has been, he probably had some throws in that game, got hurried or whatever, but just throw after throw, clutch throw. He's so accurate. You got to give him tons of credit and then find a way to win that game. It's big for him.
Sure is. Coach, one of the things doing this program on a daily basis, and we get so many text messages and we get phone calls.
By the way, you've gotten a lot of mentions today.
Yeah, so I'm just going to come out and
Penn State, huh?
Penn State, of all jobs.
Yeah. Well,
that's funny.
Well, you're going to have to fight Matt Rule for that job. But anyway, I have to ask you this question. In regards to any future open job placement in college football, you never say never, but I know that you retired from UAB a couple years ago because of your health. We see you every Thursday. You look like you're in great shape. You seem like you feel good.
Every day's arm day for you.
Yes, absolutely.
You got the pythons.
Every day.
Yep. I'm showing the guns. You're like one of these officials in the Big 12. But anyway. But anyway.
I will see both of y'all soon.
Yeah, yes, you will, in our ridiculousness. But I'm just curious, all kidding aside, if the right opportunity presented itself to Bill Clark and his family, would you strongly consider coming back to the sideline? for any job?
I've just, I really think that's a question. I think it's, I've enjoyed my time off. I feel good. Family, the grandkids and all those things. And, I'm enjoying my time with Coach Safely. It would just take.
You notice he didn't
very,
mention
very
Thursdays.
special
He didn't
job.
mention he enjoys Thursdays.
I was getting
I don't
to you,
think
but you
that he
didn't give me
does.
a chance.
Okay, go ahead.
Never mind. I was going to brag on y'all, but
Oh, no,
please do.
no.
We don't
need
get a
it.
lot of
We
that,
need it
please.
today.
Yeah, we need some
We need an
affirmation.
attaboy.
well,
Come
I
on.
was going to say that I enjoyed my time with Molly. And, you guys as well.
But then again, who doesn't, right?
Oh, gosh. That's right.
No, I seriously do enjoy you guys, but I think it would take a special, and I've said this all along: alignment, commitment, top to bottom. And somebody would just have to really want me and what we do, and that's who knows what that case is. Like I said, I'm happy where I'm at. I'll never say never, and it may not be in the cards moving forward. I may be right where I'm supposed to be. So
this might be a athletic director that would ask you this question, but I'm going to ask it. You're sitting down in an interview. All right, Coach Clark, you've been away from the game since the end of the 2021 season after that very impressive win over BYU in Shreveport. What have you learned being out of the seat, not running a program, and watching football as a, air quotes, fan, former coach that you could implement and bring back and instill in our program?
Yeah, and I think that's the difference, because I know this is going to sound arrogant. I'm not looking for an interview. I'm looking for somebody that says, hey, I've watched you. You're who we need. Go win, go take your, and do it. And I know it sounded kind of arrogant.
No, it's fine.
I think that's the part for me. That's the difference when somebody knows what a real coach looks like. And I say it all the time. When you know what you want and what they look like, it's not a committee of 10 people. This is what it looks like, and we're going to go get this person. But, I think just getting to sit on the sidelines, it's really just – I think it's a lot about trends, but what wins still wins, what loses still loses, how hard your kids play, the effort, the attitude, the mindset, the 365 days a year of working toward winning, family. And it's still there. I think you've got to be able to live in an NIL world. And you got to be good at that. But I think, people that have had to raise money and build buildings and get the community involved, which is a lot of those coaches are out there. That's who you're looking for. It just takes somebody that understands A to Z.
So in other words, if the right opportunity, doesn't matter the school, you would potentially be open to having a conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have a conversation.
Fair enough. All right. Is that all on our script that we need to say to Coach Bill Clark today?
Yeah. I had one more follow-up, but we'll wait until Thursday.
Okay, yeah. Save it for the podcast. Yeah.
Coach, you join us each and every Monday, and it's courtesy of our friends at Donahue Chevrolet.
Why was that awkward silence there for a minute?
I don't know.
I know. That's dead air.
No. That was
shocked by that.
It was a dramatic pause.
Just a dramatic pause. I was going to say that. Yeah, I like it.
Golly, I want to ask you that question so bad.
Come on, just do it.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Just ask him the question.
I'm not going to do it. No.
Why not?
Because he's a friend.
Oh, okay.
Coach, Donahue Chevrolet, great people. They've been taking care of you, your family, and so many others around the state of Alabama and the Southeast for many, many years.
Yes. Donahue Chevrolet. I mean, obviously our time at UAB, and just as I say, got to know the folks there. We know, the Chevrolet products they have, DonahueChevrolet.com. As we say, they have ridiculous deals going on. Go check them out. But just good folks, people you can trust, and they got great products as well.
Can you hunt on Mount Nittany?
Mount Nittany. Is this a trick question?
No, I don't know.
No, since you said that you're going to take the Penn State job.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I think you can. That's been discussed.
Whiteout every game. Every game's a whiteout.
Right. Right.
Coach, we always appreciate it. Thank you for playing along, and we'll talk to you Thursday.
All right, guys. See you soon.
See you. Coach Bill Clark, presented by Donahue Chevrolet, DonahueChevrolet.com. You had another question, too.
I did.
He joined us on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham's your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services, which a lot of coaches might be needing.
So if you put a player's name on one of these injury reports in college football, and then you just say, you know what, we're just going to play the kid anyway, even though it's on the availability report that he's out? How much would it cost? Well, a Big Ten school just found out. We'll tell you who it is next. All right, so we see these availability reports each and every week around college football. The Big Ten has it. Well, apparently, running back Brian Jackson of the Southern California Trojans, he was listed for Saturday's game against Michigan as out, that he wasn't going to play. Well, funny thing happened on the way to the Coliseum. He got healthy, apparently, so they played him. That's right. They played him.
Well, if you're in LA traffic, you have plenty of time to heal.
That's true. So the Big Ten has announced that they have fined USC for playing, which to me would be an eligible player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What usually happens when you play an eligible player, according to the NCAA?
You vacate a win.
Boom. Bingo. Who'd they beat this weekend? Michigan.
Yeah.
But instead, the Big Ten Conference fined them $5,000. Not $5 million.
That's how you set an example.
$5,000.
If you other guys want to try these shenanigans, it's going to cost you $5 million? No, 5,000. You would do that every game.
Yeah, Big Ten spokesman tells CBS Sports the conference has fined USC $5,000 for playing running back Brian Jackson in Saturday's game against Michigan. Jackson was initially listed as out on the final availability report before the game.
Yeah, the only problem with doing this is if you started intentionally doing it, I could see some folks in Vegas having a problem with it. And then something very unfortunate happens. $5,000. Laughable.
Well, as football season moves on, you know that changes in the weather are coming, and you need to protect your HVAC system with a checkup from a trained comfort specialist. So when the cold weather hits, you'll have peace of mind that you're protected by America's most reliable and most trusted brand. So go and find a comfort specialist near you at train.com. It's hard to stop a train.
We got phone calls. We can get to Hugh Freeze and his press conference from Auburn at the bottom of the hour. B-Ham Dog, welcome in. B-Ham Dog. Whoa.
Hey, guys. I've got a lot of feedback. Can you hear me okay?
We're good.
Yes, you're
We're
good now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Sorry about that. Yeah, I called this morning, and I feel like a broken record at this point. Let me first say I was at the game, and it was in my 40 years of experience in college football, and I've been to great ones, stadiums. It was the best atmosphere I've ever seen in my life, ever. But the fumble was a touchdown. I will say that. But Cole said something this morning. He said, I think it was a fumble. I thought it looked like a fumble. And those two right there make it inconclusive. And that's why the call on the field is so important. And I'll leave it at that. But from my eyes and everything I've seen, it looked like a Jackson Arnold touchdown. All right. Glad it went in my favor, though. The timeout. Yes, Kirby called a timeout. 100% he called a timeout. I don't know why he called a timeout and pulled it back. I don't know why he didn't say that. But to bash this guy's character like he's now condemned for hell is just wrong. It's bullcrapping, and it just aggravates me. I think you guys know me well enough. I'm not one to bash other teams. I'm pretty objective. I'm not going to talk trash. I'm a pretty good sport about this. But I've just gone just the overboard of this, how they're doing Kirby over this. But I wonder if this right here, I don't even see people posting stuff on social media about the fumble as much as I do the timeout.
I know.
But
it's wild.
It is.
Did you? Hey, hold on, Birmingham Dog. Did you see where Hugh Freeze's daughter went to social media? And what was the video that she did, Molly?
Oh, she posted a TikTok basically saying how I clap in church, and it was
she was doing the Kirby timeout.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen them all.
What are they saying about Kirby though personally?
Just the fact that he's just dishonest. I've lost respect for the guy. I mean, we are now. Look, I'm not bashing, but didn't Nick Saban say he was not coming to Alabama, and he was pretty adamant about that?
Yeah, and there's a very good reason why. Is because every single coach is a liar.
Exactly. Okay. Yes.
I mean, Kirby's a liar. Kalen DeBoer's a liar. Hugh Freeze, wow, he's a liar.
If I'm a coach and I'm coaching for a win, I'd probably do the same thing.
Listen, he did the Jedi mind trick on the officials. He gaslit them. It was beautiful.
The SEC Shorts video was that one thing. And if y'all haven't seen the SEC Shorts this week, but let me say this right here. Again, the atmosphere was great. I would be more concerned if I was an Auburn fan, and y'all didn't see this on television, but in the fourth quarter, that place was absolutely bananas. I would say 60% of your football team was down there dancing.
Mm.
And they showed it on the Jumbotron. They were trying to get that crowd hype, and I get that. But Nick Saban would have never allowed that if you were winning. Kirby Smart would have never allowed that if you were winning. You're not only losing, you have gotten 20 yards of offense at that point, and you're down there dancing. that would have been a problem for me. And I'm going to finish with this right here, guys. And I'll get off my soapbox, and I'm moving on to Ole Miss. I was sitting in the parking lot of Montgomery just a little while ago, and I was scrolling through my radio trying to find you on the AM station up there. I think it's 740.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Eating me a Big Mac. And a song came on, and I think it is the perfect new Auburn fight song. Can I sing it for you?
Sure. Go for it.
Yeah. You lied to me, even though you know I'd die for you. You lied to me. Yes, I cried. Yes, I cried. War Eagle.
Yep. Add that to the list of songs that marching bands need to pick up in the fourth quarter.
Yes,
That and
very
John
much so.
Cicada's, whatever that song's titled.
All right, so I'm sitting here looking at some brand new published odds
Okay.
at where James
Matt
Franklin.
Rule. I think he'll do great
Now
there.
you've got me going down. So Matt Rule's been a level. He is 2 and teams.
Woo!
Why in the world? After they just got through firing a guy that can't win a big game, and Matt Rule is 2 and 23 against top AP, top 25 teams. And get this, he has never, ever beaten an AP top 25 team. That's a Power 4.
See, you don't want him, Penn State.
But he hasn't done that at Penn State.
No.
Correct. He has lost 18 consecutive games to AP ranked opponents.
Well,
but
that's
you're going to hire him
Temple,
at Penn
Baylor,
State?
and Nebraska, for Pete's sake.
Thanks, Landrum.
He's got Penn State to work with.
Okay.
No, it's not good.
How many
right.
top 10 teams did he beat in the NFL? Probably a bunch.
No, I don't think that happened either.
No.
No, how do you sell your fan base on that? Is your
that's
point?
That's
yeah.
my point. I mean,
Right. That was the knock on James Franklin. He's really good at going 10-2, 11 wins
Sure.
some years,
Sign him up.
9-3 if it's a really down year. But who did you beat when it mattered?
I will be truly honest. Me and my Husker friends have been talking about this pretty much the last 24 hours since they fired James Franklin, and we pretty much have had the same thought. We love Matt Rule. We love him at Nebraska. But if I'm Penn State, what has he accomplished that you would want?
He's a big name coach that's familiar with your program.
Loves the AD.
And again,
They are good friends.
I think in the mindset of maybe he's struggled in the past, but whoa, he's never had a Penn State to work with. That I'm not saying that's my feeling.
No, yeah. I know.
That's what they will sell you on.
I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat for a second. Just saying, if this season continues to maybe not go the way that they were expecting it to, wouldn't that be a pretty convenient conversation for Brian Kelly to throw his name in the mix for? Kind of get out in front of maybe a frustrated LSU fan base, but another high-paying job outside of the SEC.
Possibly. Matt Moscona would not let that happen. Though.
Well, probably not.
But the reason I went down that rabbit hole is because Vegas has just posted odds. Where will James Franklin coach next? Number one, 2-1 odds of being the next head coach there, Arkansas.
I think that's a great hire for Arkansas.
Coming in second best odds is Vanderbilt, which would tell you that Clark Lee would be moving on to greener pastures.
We had a caller earlier said Clark Lee is very interested in the Penn State job.
5-1.
I would be too.
Third best odds, Nebraska.
Huh?
What if they made the trade?
No, I believe you. That's just wow.
So what, Matt Rule and Dylan Raiola for James Franklin? That sounds
No,
about
absolutely
fair.
not. You can't take Dylan.
UCLA is next at 7-1. Florida 8-1. Virginia Tech 10-1. Auburn 12-1 odds that James Franklin is the next head coach, according to Vegas.
Don't waste your money, even if you think it's value.
Yep.
Pat, do you agree?
I agree 100%.
Don't waste $1 on that bet.
Well, the current head football coach at Auburn, at least at 1:29 Central Time on this date of October 13th in the year of our Lord 2025, is Hugh Freeze. We will go to Auburn next and hear him.
What was his record versus Franklin?
Oh, it sounds just like Birmingham Dog just a couple of minutes ago when he was singing. 1:34 here on Jocks. We're awaiting Hugh Freeze to make his way to the podium to speak today to the media, his weekly media presence. And, last week he was a few minutes late. So hopefully we will be able to go to Auburn and we will carry those comments live as the Auburn Tigers get ready to host another top team in the SEC, a ranked opponent, as the Missouri Tigers will be in town coming up off their loss to Alabama over the weekend.
We're getting ready for the NFL on Jocks tonight, and that takes us to Prize Picks. Prize Picks, whether it's professional football, professional baseball, college athletics, you can find options there, and it's the best place to win cash while watching sports all season long. You can join millions of users just like me. You can sign up today. It's really simple. You download the Prize Picks app, use code WJOX to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WJOX. You're going to get $50 in lineups after you play the first $5 lineup. It's simple to play. You pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. In this case, we usually go 2 players. Tonight, we will go professional football. Washington, formerly the Redskins. Jaden Daniels, their quarterback, formerly of LSU. 0.5 passing touchdowns. That means that Jaden Daniels would only need to throw for 1 passing touchdown if you picked more for you to win that side of the projection. Conrad, they play the Bears. Jaden Daniels, does he have a passing touchdown tonight?
Yes, so we're going more.
We're going more there. Josh Allen, Buffalo quarterback, at Atlanta. 228.5 passing yards, more or less?
More.
If we hit more on both of those projections, we're a winner. It's that simple. Download the Prize Picks app today. Code WJOX. You get $50 in lineups after that first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it is good to be right.
So as we wait Hugh Freeze, just a little recap, what took place the other night. Hugh Freeze's record now is year 3 at Auburn. He's 1-11 versus ranked opponents. He's 14-17 overall. His team's averaging less than 27 points a game as an offense since he's been at Auburn. He's 5-14 in SEC play. Last 5 seasons for Hugh Freeze in the SEC, he's now 13-22. 9 games under 500. That is his final 2 years at Ole Miss and 3 years at Auburn. This is the 3rd straight year Auburn has started 0-3 in the SEC. That is a record that Auburn wishes had not been put in the books the other night. First time ever. He's now 0-5 in matchups against either Georgia or Alabama, becoming the first Auburn head coach to lose his first 5 matchups against the biggest rivals. Freeze has not beaten a team at Auburn that finished the season ranked. Under Freeze, Auburn is 2-11 in games decided by 10 points or less. Case is pretty predominant about what he has been unable to do at Auburn, and it's definitely not because of the roster this year. No. You can say whatever you want to the first 2 years, but a little bit different. We are about to go to Auburn. I understand that Hugh Freeze is walking up to the podium now, so let's head down to the plains of Auburn. This is Hugh Freeze.
Oh, man, disappointing not to get the win in a game like that. Thought our kids, the effort, the truth of the film, the effort was incredible. It was a tale of 2 halves for sure. And when I talked in the post game, the film was accurate with what I said, and we find ways to put ourselves in position to lose games and not finding ways to win games, and it's no more telling than this game. The same calls that were executed beautifully in the first half are some of the same calls that against the same looks that did not get executed in those game-defining critical moments. And it's really hard to understand and put your finger on it, but that's what we have to do as coaches, is to figure out, how to help our kids believe. I think one of the most telling stats of the whole game, defensively, we were dominant. stopped the rushing game. We're really good on first down. That got us in some third and longs, and had our season low in MAs, 23, which is really, really good for an entire football game. However, on the 17-play drive that sealed the game for them, we had 11 of the 23. Same calls, against the same type of looks, and we don't keep the same poise and make the same plays that we had proven to make for 3 earlier quarters. Same thing offensively. A play that gains 15 yards early in the game against the same look has a -2 because we MA on a blocking assignment, or a pass that was an easy completion became much more difficult for some reason. And so it's we've got to start finding ways to win those games. Obviously, there were other factors in the game also that I thought deflated us somewhat, and but we've got to battle through all of that. And so that, so many positives from the game. Again, compliment our crowd, our fans, incredible. We'll need them out even stronger Saturday night as we try to play another top 15 team and prove that I think we've proven we belong in those games. Now we've got to prove we're good enough to win those.
Hugh, any update on the status of Damari Alston? There's been some kind of smoke out there.
Yeah, Damari failed to meet the expectations and standards of our program, and we love him, wish him the best, but that's where it's at.
Hugh, are you guys considering a quarterback change? Have you considered a quarterback change at this point in the season?
When you look at the first half, you're in love with what you see. When you look at the parts of the second half, you question why not the same throws, why not the same accuracy. So all of that is certainly worth looking at. We're always getting other guys reps for sure, but Jackson is who we're going with Saturday, and hopefully he gets off to that same start he did again and continues it now, throughout 4 quarters.
Hugh, just on the status of the locker room, how have you seen the guys' response since that loss? And with Damari, does that confirm he's no longer with the program? The locker room is. Here's what I believe, and I think in this day and time, people feed off of trying to create things that may or may not be true. Here's the one thing I believe in, and I firmly believe that when the stage is set with adversity, that the opportunity for greatness is there, and the right type of people. Adversity reveals exactly what your character is and what you're made of, and how much you truly care about this place, the people that have given you this opportunity, your brothers in that locker room that you've committed to. How in this day and time, I guess that commitment is a year at a time or a semester at a time, but nonetheless, that's what we've signed up for. And adversity reveals that, and I believe that's a locker room full of guys that are going to fight their tails off because they know how close they are and they know what it means to each other and to this place. And so how we respond will reveal that, and you've got to go through it. You can't go around it. There's no shortcut. And there's no easy games. There's no easy road. And the great thing is you get to find out a lot about yourself and about who you really are. And And I'm excited to see that. I know what this staff is made of, and I think I know what most of these young men are made of. Many of them are young. They're learning, and they're watching. How does Coach handle this? How does, the older kids like Keldrick Falk, who's an incredible leader, how do they handle these moments that you're disappointed? And we should be disappointed. We could easily be sitting here having a lot better discussions, but we're not. And we've got to go through it, and this will reveal everything you need to know about everyone in that locker room.
Coach, in follow-up with Peter's question about the locker room, at what point, though, is the results a reflection on the leadership and the coaching? How much of that are you owning? What are you changing this week? Like, why would fans expect a different result this Saturday?
I can't control what your expectations are or what theirs are. I know what ours are. Ours are to get ready to go win a football game, just like they were last week. And I thought we had a really good plan for our kids to do that. You don't always win in this league, and we knew that when we came here, when we were starting to build, and we're there. And we do have to get different results, and we all know that when we sign up for it. But anybody that looks at it and doesn't see that it's very, very close and attainable really don't know what they're talking about. And so we've got to get different results. And, there's one way to do that. Go back to work, and let's get better at learning how to win when we get those opportunities, and hopefully get a few breaks that go our way also. And, and let's get on the winning column and see if we can't get on a run.
Coach, what's your assessment of the season Jackson has had so far? What's he doing well, and where does he need to improve?
Critical moments. He's got to shine. And I think he's done a lot of nice things. Obviously, he's taking care of the football for the most part. But certainly, I think he's got to have a little more poise in the pocket. And when we've got to have those critical throws, we've got to make them. And we've lacked some of that, and so that's where he's got to improve, and he knows it, and hopefully we'll see that Saturday.
Yeah, Hugh, is Damari gone? I mean, is he gone, you won't be playing here anymore?
Won't be playing here anymore.
All right, so he's a very popular player. He's also a good player. I mean, how much of a kick in the teeth is that? He's important.
Next man up. We'll get Omar and Alvin and Justin and those guys ready to roll.
Yeah, how close is Darrell to potentially being back in that running back room as well?
He's running. You know what? I need to ask the medical staff that. That would be nice, too. He's a competitive dude. So I'm not sure how close he is. I did see him running on the field this morning when we were having our walkthrough. So I hope he's getting closer and closer for sure.
Hugh, the offensive line on Saturday felt like protection was there a little bit more, than it had been in the past. You feel like that group took a step forward from what you saw?
Yeah. Again, it's if you look at 3 quarters, really for sure 2.5, pretty dominant. We're not playing a lot of guys. I don't know if the fourth quarter, them rotating defensive guys probably helped them some. Us not rotating as much. We looked a little, we didn't look the same as we looked the first quarter, for sure. But I thought they did, the first half, they were really dominant. And we got to find a way to sustain that for 4 quarters.
You obviously know Eli really well. When you look at Missouri, look at this team, what stands out to you about them?
Eli's a good friend. I think he's one of the best football coaches in the country. And what he's done there is remarkable to continue to rebuild that roster year in, year out in today's times, go find him players that fit his culture, his system.
and he's done a great job. He's got Corey Batoon there, obviously, who's one of my good friends also that worked for me for years, I guess 7 or 8 years, and he's his defensive coordinator. So have great respect for them and their staff and the job they do. I think their defense is one of the better we faced. I think they're 4th in the league in total defense, and people aren't running the ball on them very much at all. And they're scoring points. Their quarterback and tailbacks and receivers are playing at a high level. Very talented team. Their quarterback understands the system Eli wants and plays within it, and then uses his legs very well when he needs to. It's a really good football team that we get an opportunity to test ourselves against.
That was Coach Hugh Freeze in a very passionate press conference. So we'll try to break it down as quickly as we can as we come back. But the breaking news is that running back Damari Alston, who is one of the team captains voted on by his peers in the locker room, he is no longer with the Auburn football program. We'll discuss that next on Three Man Front. .153, welcome back to Three Man Front. Hope you'll join us tomorrow at Social Taco. But we just heard, Landrum, I don't even know how to describe what we just heard from Coach Hugh Freeze.
When we have more time, we can go in and take some of the things. I can't either, Pat. We can talk about double down, not being able to read the room. I can tell you what I sense from the Auburn media pool. They didn't hold back.
No,
They asked great questions.
Wow.
That was not a softball. We're trying to play nice. We're all on the same team type of press
three
conference.
Different questions about Damari Austin. And the answer was the same, but I think the last one, I'm not really sure who the reporter was, but the reporter said, "Isn't this a kick in the teeth?" Because he's a very popular player. He was voted on by his teammates to be a team captain, and he has left the program.
One of the biggest things I reacted to was when our friend Mike Gittens, who joined us, I think he was the one who asked the question, and it had something to do with expectations.
Yes.
And Hugh Freeze directed
Took it
that.
personally.
That's your expectation.
Yeah.
I don't know what your expectations are. Hugh Freeze kind of set out those expectations. And going back to SEC Media Days, he was the one who said, I think we should be in the college football playoff conversation. He also alludes to the close losses and being so close and taking a look at yourself and figuring out all the things that you need to do to get over the hump and help your team win those games. That has not happened now through the first 3 SEC football games of 2025. We'll get into this tomorrow. Unbelievable.
Just him
throw the players under the bus.
Yeah.
Lack of execution.
Yeah, doubling down. I mean, basically saying that they had the right calls.
Sounds
We ran
like
the same stuff we ran in the first half. They just didn't execute.
Sounds like a guy that's trying to convince very powerful people that he should still be the coach. Or he knows that he's on his way out and he's trying to save face for, I don't know, a return to liberty?
Well, at least he can play golf and work on his golf game. Sounds like he's going to get a very good opportunity to do a lot of that very soon.
That's going to do